welcome back. Hello everyone, welcome back to day 35 of the 100 days of UI design. Today we are designing a complete stock image website, which is going to be so much fun because it has a bunch of cool techniques that I am just waiting to try out. So let's just get started. To just get started with today's UI, I'm going to open up our demo. Hold on a minute. Let's get the demo opened up. Oops. Let's open up Figma and also today's website. Say hi in the chat, everybody. Welcome back to day 35 of the 100 days of UI design. This is super duper fun. Let's just make sure we have the right prototype device. Arif says hi from Bangladesh. Welcome, Arif. Today we are designing a complete website, which is just so unbelievable. Complete stock image website. It uses a bunch of cool techniques, including colors and combos that you just not find very easily. So I'm super duper excited for this one. And it changes color, so as the site is progressing you will observe a gradual shift. So it starts from this very black dark color palette and then sort of progresses down to a red tint and then goes down to blue, then comes back full circle at purple. Today's UI design is the complete stock image website which we're building. I am so happy. Say hi in the chat, everyone. Let's get this party started. If you don't have the images to this UI design yet, make sure to join the Discord community and you'll find all of the images there. Let's just get started really quickly. All right, let's just get started. So if you don't know how to start yet, just go to figma.com/downloads. That's the simplest place to start. Just go to figma.com/downloads and download Figma. If you haven't yet install Figma, get Figma installed, and let's just get started. So we're going to go to the home page. Very first thing, create a new design file. Simple as that. And today's UI design is super duper intricate, super duper fun because there is a lot of color and there is a gradual shift happening. So you start with black, then red, then blue, then purple. Again, a lot of features that are super new to UI designers who are just starting out, but it's just the perfect first project for your portfolio as well. All right, let's just get started. Now that we have an open project, I'm going to create a new frame. So let's just create a frame. Today's UI design is going to use a tablet first frame, which is quite weird because usually we're doing either desktop first UIs or mobile first UIs. So today we're doing a tablet first UI, which is just a huge tablet, and the sizing for that is 1280 by 720 pixels. So let's just change this to 1280, and then height doesn't really matter at this point because we know that this site is going to overflow and we are going to scroll, so the height is ultimately a huge number. And so even if it isn't perfect, that's fine. You're just going to take this and drag it out. All right, let's do 720 just so we have a nice sense of beginning. All right, the first thing that we're going to do is get our images. If you don't have these images yet, you can get them from the Discord group, which you can join from the live chat. So just make sure to join us there. And also we're going to get ourselves this image. Oops. You know what? Let's get a different image this time. The way I get my images nowadays, most of my images are coming from Lumi, which is my favorite stock image platform now. Absolutely not sponsored, but if you're watching this, Lumi, I am welcome to sponsorships of all sorts. Anyways, we're searching for our very first image, which is, let's search for any image. Let's do an illustration. You can get these images from the Discord group, or you can just make your own this time, and I want to make my own. All right, let's get a very simple image. Again, it does take a while for you to figure what your perfect image is going to be, but once you do that, the images here are quite honestly amazing. All right, let's settle on something fun. I think we should go this route. This looks cool. This is a cool UI design. Let's just get started. All right, now we're importing our very first image. And if this is honestly a very bright splash of color, and I'm not entirely sure you want to import it inside of the frame, so you're just going to create a rectangle first, just so it doesn't take over your whole frame. Put it in the center, drag it out, and that is going to be where your image goes. Go to the illustrations, search for any image you like. Let's do, I take such a long time to decide on images, and it's the most irritating thing ever, but let's just do the flowers at the top. This looks good. This is by Steph Mead. You can get this yourself as well. Just search for Lumi in the plugins tab. This looks quite nice. This does look nice. All right, so the way we're going to do this is, the very first thing you see in the hero section is this weird wave that goes on. Now this wave is a vector wave, so you're going to have to design this, and the way we're going to do that is we're just going to go right here and click on the pen tool. If you don't have the pen tool yet, just type P and it'll come up. And now we're going to design a weird wave, so you're just going to place this somewhere and drag it out, place this somewhere else and drag it out. Don't leave the cursor when you place the pointer, so you're just going to drag it out a couple of times. All right, and now we're going to create a complete rectangle. Just finish the square completely. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to create a mask out of the vector that we have just made. So let me just show you the vector which we've just made. This is the shape we have just now made. We are going to create a mask out of it, so the only part of the image that is visible is the part that is coinciding with this shape. Let's just get this here, and also we're going to create a mask out of this. So let's just go to these 3 dots next to vector path and use as mask. And now we're going to drag the image that we have and put it above our vector, and select both of these by pressing shift and then Control G to group them together. And now we have a really nice group where all of these images are just placed like that. The next thing we're going to do is have black in the background, obviously, because this is a black section. Let's do black. Let's create a black frame. All right, super simple stuff. Let's just hold it, drag it out. Done. We're going to shift this above, go right here, add a fill which is going to be black. You know what, we are not doing the right thing. In fact, we just have to take this frame and make it black. So I'm just going to add a fill of black here, change the color to black. Simple stuff. And the next thing we're going to do is start adding some text. Now, before we start adding all sorts of text and don't know how it looks yet, let's just start prototyping this very simply. While this is loading up, I want to talk about the fonts that we're using today. Today we have a fun collection of fonts. The first font that I'm using is Domain, which is the serif font for today. It's a nice font. It doesn't have a lot of pointy serifs, which is ultimately something that plays out in your favor. And we also have the sans serif font, which is DM Sans, super duper fun font. Let's get Domain first. All right. Before we start making up whatever we like, we have to create a simple shape inside of a simple prototype window, inside of which we can see how it looks on the device. So we're just going to go to the prototype section, show prototype settings, and choose the device to be Android expanded. This works. All right. And now our device is finally loading up. Next, we are going to get ourselves a title, which is going to say where creativity. Hold on, this is taking a little bit of time to load. In the meantime, if you haven't joined us yet, join the Discord community and find all of the assets that we're using for all 100 days of this UI design live stream. I come here live every single day for 100 days straight to design all sorts of UI designs in the 100 days of UI design challenge. And it's super duper fun. If you're looking for all sorts of perfect portfolio projects, this is the place to be, especially if you're just starting out in UI design. All right, now we have for ourselves this figured out, and now we're going to start adding our text. Where creativity meets quality images. Let's just get our text here. Where creativity meets quality images. Done. And now we're just going to style this title all the way through. Change the font to domain, and also change the font size to 72 pixels. Let's change this to change this to 72. Oh, what is going on? We have to change this number to 72, and that's it. Let's also change the text here, and we're going to drag the handler from the right side to align everything in a short window. Let's just take our time to adjust this title, and with that we are done with the title section for this part. And now we're going to use DM Sans for the description. This is a short description, just one liner, and just pretty simple to build overall. We're just going to copy this and paste it back again. Oops. And change the font to DM Sans. DM Sans. Alright, now we're going to reduce the font size by a huge number. The font size that we're using now is 22 pixels. So let's just go back and put down 22 here. Put this right in the center, add a full stop, and then that's it. The next thing we're going to do is add our main call to action button. This is going to be the button that the user sees first thing when they enter your site, and also the first button that they click on. So we're just going to copy this and paste it back again. And now we're going to change the title to say shop now. This is again DM Sans bold. So we're just going to change this to bold. And the font size is going to be a little bit less, 20 for this one. Alright, and now we're going to change the text to say shop now. You can also change the text to say explore. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Change the text to say explore, and click on the button for fit width so that it fits in the certain width that we're looking for. And now we're going to right click, frame this selection, add a auto layout. The best way, by the way, to make buttons is just to create auto layouts and then add a little bit of padding on the left and right, add some padding at the top and bottom, and that's just the perfect button that we're looking for. We're going to add a fill now, and the color that we're using is a red from our image. So we're just going to take this red from our image, and we're going to add a border radius to it as well. Alright, this is what we're building out now. This is our complete hero section, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create a complete navigation bar. Let's just go right here, add a navigation bar, and this is where all of our navigation menu activities are going to take place. This is where all of this happens. Let's start with our navigation bar. So we're going to add an effect here of a drop shadow, increase the thickness of our drop shadow. In fact, did you know drop shadows aren't visible if you haven't really added a fill? So you need to add a fill and then bring it down to be not visible. In fact, I think the challenge here is going to be to get the drop shadow to work without ever having a really dark shade of fill, a huge opacity. So I'm going to reduce the percentage here to a whole huge number. Let's do 2%, just so it looks a little bit illuminated and lifted up from the background. And then we're going to start adjusting the drop shadow. Alright, this looks fun. In fact, I'm now going to get my image, which is my logo image, for the very first logo that we're going to build out. You can find all of these in the Discord group. Let's just get that pasted right here. While we're on the subject of images, I also want to change this image because honestly this one looks a little bit better, and you can find it on Discord. So join the Discord group for this one. and we're just going to replace this image just because it looks a little bit better. All right, we're going to send this behind everything. Make sure it is still inside the frame, so location is very important. And we're going to shift our text contents just because they look a little bit better when they're closer together. Alright, we're just going to take this button, shift this below by a couple of pixels, and change the color to a red from our image. This looks quite good. We're going to reduce the height because we need to adjust it according to the thing we're building out. Alright, this looks good. And now we're going to add a title, add all of these different links which are related to our site. The title is going to be Pixura, which is the name of our stock image website. Pixura. And we're going to change the font family to Domain. Let's increase the font size and also change the font color. So we're going to increase the font size to, let's do 24. 24 should do good. Add a background drop shadow. And I think this looks quite good. We just have to add a blur to it, and the black has to stay at 25%. You can play around with these numbers to see what you like best, and then that's going to be it. Let's now focus on the navigation links. Let's just go right here, and the links that we're building out are home, instruments, and lessons. Why not customize this to be more fitting to our links of a stock image website? Let's do home, images, and premium as well. Alright, now all of these are going to be in the font DM Sans, so we have to make sure we're using DM Sans, and click on the blue button to just get them aligned perfectly. In fact, we should add an auto layout just so they are aligned vertically as well. And now we can add a background shadow, drop shadow. We need to add a drop shadow because it is quite difficult to look at what these are, especially on a white background. So it does do a pretty good job as far as that is concerned. Let's make sure the drop shadow leaves enough room for everything to be visible. I think this is a good place to leave our drop shadow at. And now we're going to take this group, the one of our icon and title, group it together, and take our link group, just group everything together, and this is going to be the frame where we add our auto layout. So this is where we're going to add our auto layout, so everything is aligned perfectly now. And we're going to change the font size from 24 to, nope, we're going to change the font size of our title from 24 to, let's do 32. And also we're going to make sure our icon is perfectly aligned as well. So we'll just shift this guy over here and bring this icon down below. This looks quite good. All right. Let's shift this above, go to this frame, align everything perfectly inside of our auto layout. This looks good. All right. And now that we've designed our hero section and our navigation bar, the next thing we're going to build out is our purpose section, which is the most obvious section for all legitimate businesses. Alright, let's just get back to our purpose. This is the next section we're building out. Again, I have to say that this looks super duper cool, super duper good. Let's go to the next section. Now we're creating a simple frame which goes right here. And we're going to add a color to our next section. So this is a very light shade of off-white yellow. FFF DF9, the next thing we're going to do is obviously design the section. Another alternative you can use is add a fill, but use a color from the image which is already present, which is actually a nice trick to do. Let's just keep this color, which is from our next section. Where did my frame go? We're just going to make sure this frame is outside of the other frame, otherwise it becomes quite difficult for these things to be visible. And you can shift around with the colors to get to a point where you're happy with the shades that you see in front of you. Alright, the next part we're building out is our purpose. So we're going to get our title and description from over here, because ultimately this section is a play on the font sizes and font styles. So we're just going to place this right here, change the text to our purpose, and the font is going to be red. So we're just going to get the red which we were already using and change the font size of our description. So we're going to change the font size to about 32, which is a good font size in my opinion. And we're going to copy this text. You can pause this video at any point and type this text out yourself. We're just going to take this text, copy it, and place it back over here. The only thing that we've changed here is just we've added the color of the font, which is just black, and the font size is now 36 pixels, but other than that, pretty simple thing. Alright, this is the next section. And now we're going to design this. So this is our image slider, which is my favorite section of this whole website, because it just features so many different visual styles, so many different animals. Super duper fun section to begin with. And before we go to the third section, let me just say this looks pretty darn good. All right, now we're going to create one other section, which is our image gallery section. Let's just take our frame, drag it out, create another frame, drag this guy out as well. And now we're going to build out our gallery. So our gallery has a different title, obviously, because this is a stock image website. It's going to say Discover Your Visual Style. Again, we're going to use the same font which we've been using. This is Domain. You can change the thickness if you'd like. I think a bold here would be even bolder when the purpose is concerned. Let's change all of these to bolder. This looks much better. Tell me if this looks better to you, because type B if you think the bold version looks better, because I genuinely think it looks quite nice. And the next section that we're using has to have a blue color, so we're just going to get our eyedropper tool, get the blue from the sea. If you guys like the bolder version of the font that we're now doing, this is the regular and this is the bold, by the way, type B in the comments. Should we just switch it to bold? Should we just leave it as it is? I want to see a quick poll now. Alright, Discover Your Visual Style is the title that we're doing. Let's just quickly type this out. Discover Your Visual Style. And we're going to make sure everything is aligned towards the left. We're going to also reduce the font size this time because it just feels overdue. And the next thing we're building out is quite interesting. This is our image slider, obviously, but I can't forget the description. I feel like this is the most similar text that we're going to come across. If we're taking all of these into consideration, we just have to switch the color of the font to get to the next description. So we're just going to take it, change the color, join our beautiful journey. Again, I come here live every single day at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time to talk about all sorts of web design, UI design, and we create a new complete UI design every single day. This is the 100 Days of UI Design Challenge, and we are on day 35. Join our beautiful journey. And we're just going to place this right here. Alright, now we're going to create 3 different frames, which are going to be square, 360 pixels each. Let's do 360. And that's it. Add a fill, and I feel like we need to change the color for this one. All of these images which we're going to use today can be found in the Discord group. Do join it. The link is in the live chat. And we're going to take all of these, sort of press the shift key to select them together. Make sure to adjust the spacing in the center. You can shift them around as one as well. And the red line in Figma is going to tell you if everything is perfectly aligned in the center. We're going to take the title and description, place it right here, and also we're going to add a border radius to all of these. This looks quite nice. And now we're going to get our images. I'm just going to get my images from Lumi. If you don't have Lumi yet, go to the resources button, search for Lumi, and then that's going to give you Lumi. This is my favorite platform for all sorts of images that are stock type. And it's completely generated from AI, which is quite cool. Let's get a blue image. It's actually easier to find colored images than you'd ever do in Unsplash or any other platform, which is why this is like my favorite platform now. We're waiting for images to load. If you guys have any questions related to UI design, do leave them in the chat, because I come here live every single day at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time or 2:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, depending on wherever you are, and we talk about all sorts of UI design, web design, create a complete website every single day. If you guys have any questions related to UI design, just leave them in the chat. Alright, and these are the images that we've built out for this image gallery. Today we're building out a complete stock image website. Super duper fun stuff. And I feel like this is the perfect first project for a portfolio as well, especially if you're just starting out, because it works on so many different concepts that are foreign to beginners in UI design. So we're just going to make sure these circles have a really small width and height. Let's do 10 pixels each. And we're going to do 3 different circles. You know what? Let's do 4. Press shift and then select all of these images at once, and that's going to group this stuff for you. You can add an auto layout, and then that's going to make sure everything is perfectly aligned. You don't have to do and make an effort every single time. This is the image that's currently selected. Let's do a dark shade of blue just to make sure everything is perfectly aligned and the colors and all are working correctly. I'm just going to get a black from here, and also I'm just going to make sure this gray aligns with blue. So we're just going to get a shade of gray which is quite close to blue. Let's just go on the gray blue side. This is much better than your average gray because it just merges easily with blues. Make sure it aligns with everything. And now we have our wonderful gallery section. Check this out, you guys. How many stars do you give it out of 10? I think this is a cool 10 out of 10 just because it works so well with the whole different color. I do think it's quite nice to look at. It's super duper awesome. Atul asks for a portfolio website. Atul, we have done a portfolio website on day 7 of the 100 Days of UI Design Challenge, so you can just go down if you want to look at that. I think we can, however, do another portfolio video because we all need all sorts of portfolios these days. And the next section we're building out is the start your image journey today. This is the invitation. So we're just going to take this and paste it here again. The reason we're just copying and pasting this section is because we'd have to change very few things to go from here to reach this position. And the main point here is we're going from red to blue to purple. So we're just going to change this color to purple. Let's do purple. Let's do a light shade of purple, something that we like. This blends well together, and I'm going to get another purple text box here. Let's do purple. In fact, I feel like we could do a portfolio video at some point. Let's do a portfolio video the day after tomorrow, or let's do it this weekend. This weekend should be good. We can create a complete portfolio this weekend, either on Saturday or Sunday or both. I don't know yet, but we will definitely do a portfolio video soon. Alright, now we're going to get our call to action button from over here, and I'm only just copying and pasting these components because it is actually very simple to build them out now. And the text that we're using here is start your image journey today, so I'm just going to type that out really quickly. If you guys have any questions related to UI design in general, just leave them in the chat. Let's just align this perfectly in the center and change the color to purple. Let's do a darker purple just because we want the people to focus on this. You know what, we can even do a black, but black would just be too dark at this point. Let's do a light shade of purple. And the only reason I don't even have a purple in my color palette yet, and I'm still trusting on this shade of purple. The reason being, we can now search for any shade of any color we like, especially for stock images, in Lumi. It's my favorite stock image platform now, and it's just the perfect place if you're just randomly getting your colors. Let's now create the sign up section, which is going to be super duper fun, especially because it has a background image which is quite bright. The first thing we need to do obviously is take our frame and increase our frame size. Let's add a frame, put it right here, and also change the background image. So we're going to go right here, get Lumi once again, and let's get a purple image. It doesn't matter what image you choose. Since this is a stock image platform, you can use any purple image you like. We're going to just get something that's very similar to this. I feel like this would be a good place to start. We can even do this. This looks much better. Again, if you guys have any questions related to UI design at all, do leave them in the chat. Where did you go? We're just going to make sure this is out of all of the other frames, because if it is inside, that leads to a ton of confusion. All right, this looks, honestly, this looks much better than this. I am proud of the way it looks. Let's drag this out. If you're not happy with the way things are cropping, you can just go right here, not there. You can just go right here, choose crop, and then crop this image out yourself. But I'm just happy with the way it looks for now, so I'm just going to stay right here. Increase, oops, I'm going to increase the height with crop selected. And the next thing we're going to build out is this very modern sign up component. Sign up components are something that we were missing in the previous live streams that we did, and I felt like most modern sites are using very solid sign up systems, so it is quite important to have a good sign up system in place. Let's create a frame, increase the height of the frame. Where did you go? I feel like today is the day everything is just disappearing on me, and it's creating the weirdest embarrassment ever. If you guys have any questions at all related to UI design, just make sure to leave them. Alright, sign up, join the family. Let's do a simple sign up. Change this to regular. You know what, we can do bold. We can do bold. Bold shouldn't be a problem. Hold on, let me just plug the charger in. Did we start charging? Did we not start charging? What happened? Give me a moment. I'm just trying to figure out if we're charging yet. Why are we not charging? Finally, we are charging again. Let's go back. Atul asks, what is the best way to do a career in UI design, or basically what is the best roadmap for a UI designer to get a job? I'm just going to give you the short answer here, and then very quickly we're going to do a video on this complete topic on this channel, believe me, in this next week or so. So this is a very hot topic right now, especially going into 2025. The simplest thing you can do is create UI designs, add them to your portfolio. Just create UI designs, get really good at making UI designs, which if you're looking for how to do that, I come here live every single day at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Just join me live. I'm creating something every day for 100 days straight, and you can go back to the past streams, look at the streams that we're doing now. In a matter of an hour or two, you can create very nice looking, very professional looking portfolio worthy projects, which you can just put on your portfolio like that. I don't have any copyright infringement or any sort of issues. You can just take all of my projects and put them, with your own variations of course, on your portfolio. If you're worried about what images to use, you can find all of the images on the Discord group, of course. And after you're done with that, now you have your own portfolio, which you can finally compile. If you're looking for your complete portfolio projects, you can just, there is a playlist on this channel, by the way. How cool is that? There is a playlist on this channel which has all of the projects that you would look for if you're looking for a job. So I feel like, hold on, I need to now talk about my own playlist. Wait a minute. I am so excited for this, by the way. Our channel, if you go to the playlist section, has a couple of playlists which you can just go through yourself. Entry level projects, mid level projects, advanced level projects, and these are all of the projects depending on your skill level and the level of jobs that you're looking for. We also have responsive industry standard projects, which, by the way, is the playlist. There is a playlist called responsive industry standard projects, which currently has 9 videos. I might increase the videos now. It has responsive complete projects. Responsive, by the way, means your project works on both desktop and mobile. So you can get all of these 9 projects, make them in an hour, 2, 3, and then put them on your portfolio. When you have a solid portfolio ready using any of these playlists, you don't even have to go through videos yourself at this point. Then you can start applying to all of these different listings wherever it is. People don't always believe in Indeed.com, this, that. People don't always believe in certain sites, but I say, what's the harm in applying to like everything you can? So just apply wherever you find a possibility, because the first step is obviously to get a foot in the door any way possible. And believe me, when you have a solid portfolio with yourself, people do reply, and there is a level of interview and there is a level of yes that you do get when you have a solid portfolio with yourself. So I feel like as long as you do your 100% at creating your own solid best portfolio, it doesn't matter where you apply. I feel like there's going to be a yes, because people give you there are all sorts of job listings available, especially if you're looking for jobs, and people who post these listings are looking for real professionals to help them. So there is going to be a reply if your project is good enough. Maybe not from the first guy, maybe not from the second guy, but eventually you will land your dream job as long as you are doing everything correctly. And I want to add here, many times people start looking for jobs before they're ready, before they have the right projects with them. If you don't have the good projects with yourself, it is going to be difficult to be the chosen one amongst a sea of like thousands of candidates. So you have to have a very, very solid portfolio with yourself. If you are looking for a portfolio, if you want to make your own portfolio website, even though you're just a UI designer starting out, you can do the launch your own portfolio masterclass, which we do every month on this channel, and the last one was super duper awesome. We built out like complete portfolio websites. You just have to join in for a 3-hour period, very, very small nominal fee, and during that period we take you through the process of building out your own portfolio website, like www.yourname.com, without ever getting into the hard programming part. So you don't have to code anything. You can just go from a UI designer's point of view to launching your own portfolio in a matter of 3 hours, and then add your own projects which you can build out from all of the playlists on this channel. And that's going to be the simplest roadmap to building out your own career in UI design, especially if you're just starting out. I apologize if this was a really long explanation, even though I said it was going to be short. But here we are. You asked me the long question, you get the long answer. I feel like I'm going to do a complete video on this in the next couple of weeks, because it is very, very hot going into 2025, and hopefully you get a really nice job. Just work on your portfolio. That's my simplest answer to you. Alright, let's make sure to reduce the size now. Let's do 30. Should we do 36 or let's do 48? That looks good. 48 looks fine. And we're going to change the color as well. You're very welcome, Atul. Let's change the color to purple. This looks good. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is, you could do black, you could do purple. I'm just obsessed with purple. I'm just going to stick with it now. Let's copy and paste this. Oops. Let's copy and paste this here again. Change domain to DM Sans. Reduce the font size by a whole lot. Change the thickness to, let's do medium. Medium should be fine. Change the font color to black as well, because you always want to make sure one of these is colored, one of these is black. Doesn't matter which is colored, which is black, as long as something is. Join our photo journey. Oops, I cannot spell journey. How cool is that? Let's just place this right here. All right, next thing we're going to build out is the continue with Google button. So we're just going to get this button right here, copy and paste this, bring this over here. Let's do continue with Google. Continue with Google. Let's make this wider as well because I feel like we're going to need space for this one. Bring this right here in the center, and for every Google button we always need a Google icon, so we're going to go to Iconify. If you don't have Iconify, go to the actions button and search for it. Let's just search for Google, and when you find Google, just drag it out. Press the shift key every single time, reduce the size, make sure width and height is always equal, and then you're going to place this inside of the container and then reduce the size. All right, I feel like this is a good place to stop. 25 pixels, 26 might be perfect. We're going to make sure everything is aligned in the center. The next thing we're going to do is add this OR line. Let's create a simple line from here to here and divide this up in two different places. So we're going to take this point, extend it all the way to the edge, and now we're going to select the line segment in the middle, delete it, and add some text. Let's do OR. Reduce the font size from bold to regular or medium, and we're just going to place this here. The point with OR is it has to be in a very, very dull shade. Let's get this line and let's just get this OR as well. Let's reduce the color to a very light shade of gray, bordering on purple. And now we're going to change the color of the stroke to 9E as well. All right, this looks good. Why does this have a stroke? Let's reduce the stroke. All right, now with the stroke gone, we can focus on the next part, which is the name and email section. All right, let's just copy this text back here again, get this out. And this is going to be the continue with email button. I just wanted to get the button out of the way because it's the simplest thing. Continue with email. Place this right here. Alright, and now we're going to align everything perfectly in the center. This does take a while, but when it is done, it is the most rewarding thing ever. And we're going to just duplicate this button, remove the Google sign. Why do we have a Google sign? We're going to remove the Google icon and change the text to say, enter your email. And make sure the width is as wide as you want it to be. It would look better if everything has the same width, so we're just going to do that. Let's change the color for this one to a very light shade of purple, especially because we are very committed to our purple now. Let's just do a very light shade of purple. Change the color for this to be black, or at least a very dark shade of purple at least. This does look good, and we're going to change the thickness to medium, or let's do semi-bold because Atul asks, I am confused much between videos from YouTube. I have consumed so many videos of YouTube and I'm confused between UI, UX, web development, coding, etc. What to do? I don't know what to do. Do you want to know what category to choose, or are you just looking for what all of these are? Just if you could clarify that, and I'm just going to get to it as soon as this section is done. Alright, and now we're just going to change this to, let's align this to the left as well. All right, so let's align this to the left, add a title, and we're going to change the text to enter your name here, enter your email. Now you're going to click on this button to ignore auto layouts completely, and this is where you're going to start with the email ID, and then we're going to get to the section, to the question that we have in the chat. Again, if you guys have any questions related to anything related to UI design, just leave them right here. All right, and now we're going to add a final warning for the terms and conditions. Let's just copy this text because I don't want to type it out. You can pause this video and type it out if you want to. And then we're going to get to the questions. We're going to paste here, and then we're going to reduce the font size by a whole lot. Let's do, should we do 13? Let's do 13. All right, and we're going to reduce this to medium because it looks good. Add some spacing at the top and bottom, add some spacing here as well. This looks good. All right, now we're going to talk about the question which Atul has in the chat. I'm confused between UI, UX, web development, and coding. UI design is designing all of these different UIs, prototypes, everything that you design on this channel for websites, for apps, for UI design in the simplest way is what I'm doing right now. UX design is user experience design. It has a lot more to do with planning, layouts, mockups, wireframes. I am going to do a video on UX, by the way, very soon. Web development is taking your UI designs and your UX design inputs as well and coding up a complete website out of it. So you're going to code in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Python, whatever it is you want to code in to make your website, and that process is called web development. If you're confused between what to go right now, in my opinion, the hottest topic right now is something that gives you power as a creative, and that's going to be UI UX design. And I am a web developer, by the way. I can program in like 8 different languages and also make websites, but I have found over the years that UI UX design is a very rewarding field, especially if you're looking for what pays off the best in the long run. Reason being, creative fields are less threatened compared to the repetitive fields. So you could give something, some AI, some weird robot like that, this UI design, and then it's going to generate some sort of code. It is not going to be perfect, but it is going to give you some sort of code. And when the entry level jobs are easily replaceable by the robots, it is much easier for humans to be humans to go to creative fields like UI UX design and get a foot in the door like that. Of course you can go and learn web development, of course you can learn programming, coding if you want to, and it does give you a lot of power in terms of making your own software. But the best field in my opinion right now is UI UX design. If you don't know what to do, here's the thing, if you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Just join me live every single day for 8 p.m. Just watch what I'm making. Build out your own projects. Just go to one of our playlists and build out all of the projects there, put them in a portfolio, and just publish them to your own website. Start applying for positions, start getting your foot in the door, start trying to make things work. Give yourself the permission to fail, and after 1,000 bad ideas, believe me, your one perfect position will land. It does take a lot of bad tries, but you have to give yourself the permission to fail. So do not get confused. Decide at this point whatever you think is the best for you. Maybe you find programming more rewarding, and that's fine. Follow some teacher, mentor, guide of some kind every single day, especially if you're confused at what to do. I would recommend myself because I'm trying to bring out the best value to all beginners in UI UX design. If there's someone else out there for you, go join them, try to follow them, try to build out your own portfolio, start applying, and then confusion will go away soon. I hope that answers your question. With that, we are done with the sign up section, and now we're going to build out the final section, which is the footer. This is the footer. The footer today is quite simple and quite nice too, and we're going to do our footer next. again, one of the primary aspects of today's site was changing the colors and seeing where this trajectory of colors leads us. And now I want to go back to the color that we have planned, especially this purple here. Let's make sure it is in the footer. We're going to add a fill, we're going to add a color, and make sure it's something from the image at the top, just so that colors have some sort of hierarchy, some sort of balance and meaning to them. And now we're just going to do the simplest thing we can, especially for making this footer. We're going to get our title and logo, copy it as a whole, and now we're going to paste it. Let's just place this right here. And Atul says, thanks for the clarity, and I hope I don't irritate you regarding these unusual questions. These are more usual than anything I've ever seen. Believe me when I say this, I meet a lot of beginners in UI UX design, and these are beginners in tech industry as a whole. And believe me, all of these are very, very obvious questions. And at this point, nothing of this sort irritates me at all. Like, I am used to this. Don't worry about it at all. You're welcome. The next thing we're going to do is add this. This is now where creativity meets quality images. This is our tagline from over here. So the purpose of a brand is to have your logo, your name, and also your tagline, which is what people associate you with. So we're just going to get our tagline and then change the font and everything just so it matches up. So we're just going to take it, copy the whole thing, paste it right here. Where did you go? Let's just copy it, and also we're going to paste this. Alright, now we're going to change the font to DM Sans, very, very small font size, make the thickness, let's do regular, and then we're going to reduce the thickness to, reduce the font size to 28. 28 should be the perfect midpoint. 28, full stop. And also we're going to make sure everything is set to auto width. Let's reduce the font size a little bit more because this is much, much better. And now we're going to do the most amazing thing we can related to Figma variables. Let's just take this right here, and we're going to design typography variables for all of these links. Let's do the first link, and then we're going to do typography variables with them. Let's do company, add an auto width, and then change this to the reduced font size which we were doing, 16 pixels. Let's do 18 pixels for this one, and this is going to be our standard footer link. And then we're going to go right here, add a text style, do a footer link. Let's do F link. This is our footer link, and then we're going to copy and paste this a bunch of times. The reason we're doing this is because after we are done with all of these links, you can change everything about all of these links at once, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that in just a bit. Let's duplicate this a bunch of times too. All right, and we're going to get rid of this one. About careers newsroom, explore more. Let's quickly type this out. What are the others? Newsroom, instrument lessons. Let's do explore here. Newsroom. Don't worry if it overflows, we can always fix that. You know what, let's do images, platform. I don't Atul asks if I have any paid courses on Udemy for complete full UI design as a beginner. I don't have any courses on Udemy, there is a portfolio masterclass which we do every single month. As far as full course is concerned, we are doing a full course of everything you need to learn as a UI designer on this channel very, very soon. Subscribe, join the Discord group, which I'm sure you're already there, but we are covering all of the topics that we need to cover on this channel. In fact, I believe, and this is my personal belief at this point, rather than going for a full course from me or anyone else, the simpler thing would be to just join in on these live streams, open Figma, install Figma, start to follow along. Because as far as UI design is concerned, most full courses that you would find on the internet, and this is why I don't want to rush into building out a course as soon as I started, is because most courses that we build quickly don't have the level of finesse that you need to have to guide beginners in UI design. The simplest thing you can do is practice by just join me live, build something out every single day, and that's just going to be far more beneficial for you than any course ever will. So my personal suggestion is just to join me live here every single day. Yes, there's going to be a course, but while we're making a course, I just want everything to be way more beginner friendly than the current courses in the market are, and that is taking a little bit of time. But there will be a course very, very soon. In fact, before 2025, I feel like there's going to be a course. So the full course is coming on this channel too. The only thing that we've paid for now is the masterclass for building out your own portfolio. You can join the Discord group. There is a section for that. If you're interested, you can just join us. You can, in fact, there is a form for, if you want to join the portfolio masterclass in the Discord, just join the Discord group and I'll forward you the form for joining the portfolio masterclass if you're interested. So that's the only paid thing we have right now, and it's the only thing you need as a beginner just starting out. Let's do community. Join us. Careers. We've done careers already. Why am I doing? Alright, I am going to, if you've already joined the Discord group, I'm going to share the link just after this live stream ends on doing your own, on launching your own portfolio masterclass, which is happening every single month, and you can express your interest to join that, and then you can have your own very own portfolio in just 3 hours. So that is happening very, very soon this month too. Not this month, in fact in the month of December, but very, very in the first few days of December. That should happen, hopefully. Let's do Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Let's also do legal terms and privacy. We're just so close to getting this site done. And this is one of the most beginner friendly sites ever. So it's like the perfect project to do if you're just starting out for your own portfolio. Let's put this right here and make sure to give this auto width so it just takes up the width it needs to. Don't worry if everything doesn't line up correctly right now. It will very, very soon. Just press shift and select all of these at once and then click on auto width. Alright, now we're going to take all of these links at once. And we're going to make sure there is an auto layout to them. Let's just do a simple auto layout. Oops. If things don't seem to be aligning perfectly, just get your things in line and oops, link them up. This went south very, very quickly. Embarrassing. Anyways, let's do this, group it together. I feel like you need to, even though auto layout has a grid option present, you need to make your own grids for the perfect results. Alright, and now we're going to, oops, get an auto layout on these, and that should align things perfectly for you. Alright, this is our complete site. If you've been watching from the start, congratulations, we have now completed our whole site. Check this out, you guys, super duper fun. Alright, I'm just going to close off everything else. This is the site that we just built out. All right, so this is the site that we just now built out, the complete stock image website, ultimate portfolio blaster, the thing you need to have on your portfolio right now. It does so many amazing things. This is a very glassmorphism inspired navigation bar, wave vector for your hero section. How cool is that? It goes from a gradual color scheme change, which shows that you have a solid glance, solid powerful control over your color palette. So it goes from black to white to red, and then it goes to complete blue sections, one colored sections, purple sections. How awesome does this sign up section look like? If this was a sign up section in any real site, I would sign up. And this footer is heavenly, by the way. The level of color theory knowledge that you need to have to execute a site like this is insane, and believe me, this looks awesome on all of your portfolios out there. This has been today's UI design. I'm just going to share this prototype with all of you so you can join us in the fun too. Alright, so this is going to be our complete UI design for today. If you joined me live today, thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time or 2:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, where we talk about another awesome UI design that we're going to build out completely from scratch. Until then, go check out the playlists on this channel, because you can search them according to your proficiency level, and you can also search for them, especially if you're looking for jobs or you're going into the freelancing field. We have complete projects for every single occasion. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, keep designing and have fun. We have Hemant and another person here. Hello Hemant. Hello another person. I will see you very soon. Goodbye.